Hello, everybody, and welcome to this evening's Attract Mode presented by Lady Arcaders. My name is Jaypeg. I will be your host for tonight, and I'm so excited for this. Like, you can't even begin to imagine. But if you are new to this, you saw Sonic and Shadow Generations on the docket, and this is your first time here, and you're wondering what on earth we're doing here. So Lady Arcaders is an all-women's gaming collective. We welcome all women in gaming, speedrunners, developers, and casual fans alike. And in addition to our cozy private community, we run weekly showcases on our Twitch channel, as well as larger charity events throughout the year. And you are watching one of those right now, Attract Mode. So we do this on Thursday nights at 9 p.m., Saturday afternoons at 2 p.m. Eastern, and you can catch some awesome Lady Arcaders showing off some awesome games. This is going to be a phenomenal time tonight, y'all. If you saw what's on the docket, you saw who's here. I know that you are just as excited for this as I am, and I do not want to keep you waiting because this is a game about going fast. So it's kind of like a double fast thing because game about going fast and speedrun. So without further ado, no more Sonic references. We're just going to get straight into it. We are going to see Metroid Crime running Sonic and Shadow Generations, Shadow all stages, no wings, with the wonderful Lazlo on commentary.
Hello, everyone. Hello, hello. Hello, everyone. Hello, hello, hello. I'm so excited to be here, and I'm so excited to show this off. This is my first time, like, performing it, like, anywhere, so, it's super exciting. I've been basically speedrunning this game since before it technically came out, which is very cool. I also have Lazlo here on comms.
Hi, I'm a big fan of Metroid Crime, and I'm a big fan of Shadow the Hedgehog.
Oh my god, I'm a big fan of you as well.
Oh my gosh, I was not expecting that response. Wow.
We're already losing it.
Yeah. But I am so ready to get started. This is a all stages run, so this differs from the any percent run in that we just see the stages. This is kind of a New Game Plus type run. But we have this stage list that we can go to where we can see all the boss fights, all the stages, and we can do them in order without having to fuss with any of the challenges, which is really nice, quick, compact run of, honestly, like, this game is great. I love it, and I can't wait to show everyone. Let's see. So I'm gonna turn off the Doom Wings, because that's another thing. Those are an ability that you get at the end, of the main run. Well, there's story stuff that happens. I'm not gonna go too much into story stuff, but, we're choosing to play without them. So, I'm just gonna give a timer heads up. As soon as I hit play Act 1, our run starts. So, 3, 2, 1, go.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Alright, so while we're loading in, I do briefly just want to go into all stages, no wings as the category. Like Crime said, we're basically skipping the overworld traveling. There's also challenge levels, and that's just what we're going to avoid by using the menu. Doomwing is an ability that Shadow is able to use. It allows him to fly, and there's other paths, and there's some interesting skips that you can do with it. But due to runner preference, we are turning that off. There's also a separate score, timer, and record for whether you use Doomwing or not. Let's talk about movement, because Sonic games are all about movement, aren't they? So Shadow's main tech that we're using, which you saw right there, is called Chaos Sphere Gliding. So Shadow is legally not allowed to have guns anymore, apparently. He is the gun.
He is the gun.
So, Shadow is the gun. So he's able to launch these Chaos Spheres, usually what you're supposed to use in combat. But if you use them in combination with jumping, it kind of allows you to keep your vertical momentum, and it allows you to skip sections of the levels, basically. So this is a really, really important tech when it comes to navigating through these levels. You also have some other things you can do, so you can also ground pound to kill that horizontal momentum and drop down onto certain platforms.
Yeah.
Like that, kind of. And then one other thing that we're going to be seeing throughout the run is going to be Shadow's Chaos Control. Wow, I timed that beautifully.
I know, right?
Anyways,
It's actually you.
yeah, I did that actually. So chaos control stops time for 5 seconds. It allows Shadow to move through certain obstacles without being damaged, or it can avoid obstacles that are running on a cycle. You can refill your chaos control by defeating enemies or hitting balloons, or there are chaos energy item boxes that you can hit. There are certain areas on the run where we are not allowed to use chaos control, and you will see it with like this little like chain and lock over the icon. That's going to be the Radical Highway segments that we will see later. We're currently on the Space Colony arc. So this is reminiscent of Sonic Adventure 2 and Shadow the Hedgehog. It's got elements of Final Rush and Final Chase in there. Aesthetically, I really like Final Rush, so I like that this is where we start out.
Yeah, this is such a cool level to start out with, honestly.
Yeah. Speaking of which, technically in this category, it has been decreed that you can do these levels in any order. Just since this is like kind of a new development for this run, we're just gonna go in order of chronology, basically.
Yeah.
And one other thing that just happened a little bit ago, Shadow was able to glide on these like green lights that just went by. So that is our Chaos Dash. It's very similar to a light speed dash that Sonic uses, or like ring dashing. If you use Chaos Control at the right time, Shadow can travel on these paths of light. They're faster, and they can even skip dangers of the level that you play normally. Shadow's dad's here now.
Yeah, I love this scene. This cutscene is so good. His expressions and everything are just like amazing. Here he goes.
Yeah, I really love it. We are now in Black Doom's Mind Palace,
which is just Radical Highway.
Which is just Radical Highway.
That's my mind palace too. This is where I go to mentally all the time.
Mentally, I am on Radical Highway.
God, this rips though. It's so cool.
Yeah.
So cool.
Love this section.
It's so well done, and also like, you know, this is the first time that Shadow's really gotten like a front stage presence in a game in such a long time.
Yeah.
It truly is the year of Shadow we are facing. I'm so happy.
Me too. He deserves it. Cool.
Chad is asking the very important question of, is that actually lore that it's his dad? And yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. He made him.
Yeah. Yeah. For people who are not familiar with Shadow's origins, is that he was a government project where they combined hedgehog DNA and an alien race known as the Black Arms DNA. So Black Doom is like the head of the Black Arms, so it is his DNA. And then Gerald Robotnik, who is Eggman's grandfather, was the head of the project. So those are his dads, basically.
Yeah.
See, and because I haven't played this game yet personally, when you mentioned like the lock and chain thing, I just honestly thought that was like an aesthetic choice through that area because it's Shadow the Hedgehog, that I was like, yeah, okay, that should be there. And I never questioned it. So thank you for explaining that.
Yeah, and honestly, you wouldn't be wrong. Like, all right. So one thing that we did not mention is that each of these levels have Act 1 and Act 2. Act 1 is going to be our 3D stages. Act 2 is going to be like 2D, 2.5.
Yeah, they're like
whatever they call it.
They're
Yeah,
really
it's
interesting because they're not pure 2D like in Sonic Generations. Feel very different.
Yeah.
Very like Sonic Colors, I think, is what this feels a lot like.
Yeah.
It also makes me think of Unleashed, like the day stages.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shoutouts to Unleashed. What a good Sonic game.
I didn't play that one. I've heard
Oh,
good
it's
things.
good.
Oh.
Yeah, it's so good. Crime doesn't know about the werehog?
I know
don't know.
about him.
Thank goodness, because you're a little busy and I don't know that we have the time to educate you right now.
Speaking of Shadow Generations feeling different, a fun fact about this is that Sonic Generations, like the new one, is based off of the Generations engine, but Shadow Generations is based off of the Hedgehog 2 engine, which is the engine that was used for Sonic Frontiers, for example.
Yeah. And honestly, like, if this game feels really fun to play.
It looks like it feels good is the thing, too. Like,
Yeah.
it's one of those games where you're like, oh, look at this. Like, it's fun to watch. It's fun to do. I'm not trying to sell anybody on the game, but at the same time, look at it.
Yeah. I'm just really selling people on Shadow the Hedgehog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he is the coolest. to quote Shadow the Hedgehog himself, he is the coolest.
And if you look really quickly, if we see on the menu again, that when he has the wings on, he's a truly... he is the tortured poet from the Tortured Poets Department. He is a tortured soul and, like, agonizing in that moment, and then you take the wings off and he's just chilling, so it's a great time.
Oh my god, that cracked me up earlier. I don't know, like, I guess I hadn't noticed it the other times that Crime was doing it. Oh man. Ooh.
Well, because it doesn't like set in at first, because you're also just kind of like, yeah, that's Shadow, that he's doing what he's doing. Okay,
Yeah.
and then you're like, wait a minute.
Somebody help him. What's wrong with him?
Yeah.
He looks so distressed. And then he take his wings off and then he's like chill again and it's fine.
Yeah.
Alright. Nice flips.
Nice.
Yeah, sweet flips.
Okay, so now in order to get to the
Alright.
next level, we're going here, turn off his Doom Wings, and in.
Sweet. Alright, Rail Canyon. This is from Sonic Heroes.
Yes.
And
Say, arguably, this is one of the better things that Sonic Heroes gave to us. Go on.
yeah, and this, I know, like, Crime has opinions about some of the segments of this, but I really like the elements of this level.
There's some cool stuff to it. There's just, oh my god, the rails are something.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I don't know what else you expected in Rail Canyon Crime.
It did say it.
It's right in the name, I know, yeah.
Admittedly, what if they started and then never brought back a rail?
Yeah. They make Rail Canyon and there's just absolutely no rails in it.
There's one. It's not
There's
plural.
one.
It would have to be Rails Canyon.
Rail singular. Wow, we really are being misled. We also, we can talk about our little boost meter on the bottom left there. Sometimes when I talk about, like, UI things, I, like, for a second, I'm like, is that left or right? Is that left or right? And I, like, panic. So if you ever hear me hesitate before I say something like that. Anyways, on the bottom left, because I know my directions. Ooh.
I got that, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm very happy I was working on that one.
Our boost meter, obviously, is going to allow Shadow to go faster. You build up your boost by collecting rings. Your Chaos Control also refreshes it after you leave, like, the Chaos Control phase. Oh, it's Radical Highway again.
Yeah.
But yeah, so this run is interesting in the sense that you kind of have to, like, juggle that, because you do need your boost to do certain skips or get through certain areas, like, optimally. And sometimes you can... Oh my god.
Yeah, that was so scary. Okay.
Sometimes you
Nothing
can fail
after,
skips
fine.
if you don't conserve that boost properly. So that is something that Crime has to keep in mind. Or also, like, keep in mind, oh, maybe I need to change the routing on this a little bit differently to pick up more rings so that I do have more boosts to accomplish different goals and pathing and things like that. This run has that fun new fresh game energy where everybody's like routing and pathing and coming up with new ideas. It's very fun.
Yeah, it's literally always changing. Like, every single time I check the Discord for it, it's like, hey, I found a new strat. Is this useful? And I'm like, yes, very cool.
That's so cool.
Amazing. That's always a really fun time to be in a community. Maybe not the most fun if you're the one writing the guide, but really fun to learn.
Yeah, definitely. I did a similar thing with Metroid Dread when it came out, and like that game has like changed so much since I originally ran it. Like just the amount of
do you like
things.
Metroid games? I don't know. I'm just calling.
Yeah, a little bit.
No. Common misconception, actually.
Yeah, I'm a Sonic game runner. I don't.
But Sonic Crime doesn't really like have that ring to it.
Yeah.
I think the Sonic Crime game was Knuckles Chaotix or the Murder of Sonic the Hedgehog. I think those are what those games are.
Ooh, yeah. There really was like a crime that happened on the Murder of Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yeah, I loved that game.
Yeah. We were talking about it the other day. Like I don't know. We were blessed with that. That was for like a free thing.
Fully free
that
game, yeah.
some like really amazing writers and artists just decided to make. Like, big chef's kiss. It added so much, like, I mean, not that it's canon, but they added so much like lore. Oh man.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's the game that confirmed, well, that in at least their lore track that Amy Rose and I share the same birthday, which I think is personally extremely important.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And also, like, further portrayed the hard fact that Shadow eats raw coffee beans.
Oh my god, yes, I love that.
Yeah. So good. Alright, Act 2, Rail Canyon. We've gotten a lot of the exposition out of the way. So, other than, like, some very specific cool skips, a lot of this is just gonna be, like, we're just gonna chat about Shadow T. Hedgehog.
Yeah, he's a cool guy.
Yeah.
Don't bring up Maria, though. Unless you want to be there for a while.
Right. It's kind of a thing with Shadow.
Yeah. Kind of a thing. A long pause that we all just took in mourning.
Yeah, right.
Me when my date with Shadow the Hedgehog ends early because I accidentally mentioned somebody named Maria and it got all weird.
I said, so do you have any siblings? And then, yeah, he offered me to ride home and it was just weird. Oh.
My stomach already hurts. We're gonna be in for a time, everybody. We're gonna be here a while.
Well, you know, bringing up Maria brings up a very interesting thing that one of the reasons why I like Shadow so much is that, like, yeah, he is the ultimate light form. He is all of him. He is just so cool and the master of his own destiny, as like the Shadow the Hedgehog game is all about. But I also really like the like emotional vulnerability he has. I really wish that the games would really explore it more, and I kind of hope that they will. As the Year of Shadow continues for like a couple more months. He, you know, like, I know that one of the reasons why it's like so hard to put Shadow in games is that he's just so cool and is like the answer to like half of the Sonic crew's problems. I feel like in so many of these games. But yeah, like when it comes to like the discussions of like his trauma / amnesia, or, you know, like his emotional closed offness, you know, I just think it's really fascinating. I think it's cool. I like that a lot about him.
Yeah, I do too. I do like that they have, like, it's not really like closure, but they do have a bit of Maria's story in this game, which is great, considering, like, everything. And because everything is, like, kind of trapped in time, so it gives an opportunity to kind of explore that a little bit, which was nice.
Yeah.
Bio-lizard!
It's the bio-lizard.
Bio-lizard.
Just a little guy.
Very little.
I mean,
I love
look
his
at
little
his...
chompies.
Uh-huh. He's hungry. He's a hungry boy.
Yeah, so we're just gonna hang out over here because he doesn't do anything if you're over here.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool video game.
I'm pretty sure that's just an exact replica of Sonic Adventure 1 with this part of the fight.
Adventure 2.
I'm sorry,
yes.
2, yes. Shadows in 2.
Big fan.
Look at his gill flappies. Look at his little gill
Oh,
flappies.
I hate them. Oh, I hate them. Okay, that's awful.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. He has wings too. Everybody's got wings.
Yeah, everyone's got wings.
Shadow, where's yours? Oh.
Oh.
Oopsie.
Biolizard also has bubbles.
Bubble baby.
Yeah, a little bubble baby.
You think those will stop me?
Also, live and learn playing in the background. Of
Yes.
This. Ugh.
Oh, so I ended up I subbed out Live and Learn for the original BioLizard song because you can replace any track with any other track in this game, which is really cool.
That's a really nice feature.
Yeah. I just love Live and Learn.
You're right too.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's a Monster Hunter Rise map that plays Live and Learn, and of course I play that all the time.
That's so good.
I just was like, I would know this voice anywhere, anytime.
Yeah.
This is Live and Learn. I heard like a quarter of a second of it. Keep this in, please. Oh, look at that belly.
Got a couple shockwaves to avoid.
Yeah.
We are cruising through this fight though.
Yeah, I got destroyed once by one of the hits, and it wasn't too bad. You just kind of like go flying in the air. The best thing, the thing you have to mainly worry about is just ring management, because you don't want to end up with 0 rings, because then you get shot back to the beginning of the round, which is oof.
That handshake meme, but it's Jewelers and Sonic the Hedgehog runners, and it's the middle of the handshake is ring management. By the way, chat got me good. They said that Shadow cannot watch West Side Story because they keep bringing up Maria. So thank you for that. Oh my god.
Thank goodness that like Shadow was in like cryostasis during like the 90s, early 2000s. That West Side Story was a big deal.
It was a big deal then.
Yeah.
What was that about?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Is this what y'all came to the Shadow the Hedgehog speedrun for? The discussion of the West Side Story revival of the 90s?
Anyways, BioLizards.
Rip.
BioLizard is really like Shadow's brother too.
Yeah, so it's really messed up, actually.
Yeah.
Especially because he goes into that fight smack talking the daylights out of him.
Yeah. He's like, I'm gonna put you down. Why?
Dude, calm down!
He's just hanging out in his room.
Let him be. Oh.
Do you like Sonic
Kingdom
06?
Valley.
That
Sonic
is the
06,
eagle.
but better.
That is the eagle that people ask about not taking the ring to Mordor all the time.
Yeah.
Hope that any Lord of the Rings fans in chat are having a time with me right now.
Too busy helping
He was here.
the 3 hedgehogs.
Actually.
The hedgehogs 3, yeah. I'm like trying to remember what spot I told you about last time I watched you play. Oh, it's here.
It's here.
It's here, and my good friend Metroid Crime's gonna listen to me and take the route that I told her to take, and that's
Yes,
awesome.
the caves. Yeah.
The caves. So we do unfortunately skip a bird by doing this. So it's very horrible realization for me to learn yesterday is that the birds are not faster. And avoiding the birds is really just heartbreaking, but we do.
Yeah.
Did you know that Shadow has a stingray?
Yeah, this is an ability he has now. He can just surf.
Just summon a stingray and surf on him. I don't believe that this is particularly fast, so sometimes you'll kind of like spice it up with some chaos spears every once in a while just to get some airtime and avoid the water. It's a bit like tanky.
Yeah, it's
the
weird.
moves as
You
well.
get a little bit of a boost like at the beginning when you land, but that's the only time you can really boost out of there.
Very nice. Other thing that I mean, really, this, like, 2D Sonics do this as well, but what I really like about, like, this game and other 3D Sonic games is just that they really are so many different routes. There is so much, like, research that has to go into this. This is a cool skip. Hold on, I'm gonna stop talking for a second. So these enemies, you're able to, like, launch them and then kind of like zoom over to their location. So this allows you to skip the very iconic segments of Sonic 06 where you would get locked in those little rooms in Kingdom Valley and you would have to defeat all the enemies in the room before it would let you out. So we just skipped that whole thing and then we just got shot in the head, but it's fine.
Yeah, it's fine. We're just gonna freeze time here, not deal with it.
Yeah. Built different.
I really respect you referring to anything from Sonic 06 as iconic.
Iconic and beloved.
I think that's a really strong stand to take, but I'm really proud of you for it.
It's unfortunate. Well, actually, I do have a copy of Sonic 06 on my desk right now. It's unfortunate because I really do think Sonic 06 had some cool ideas, but implemented horribly.
Yeah.
I love Silver, my little friend. I love Silver.
I love when Shadow kicks Silver in the head.
Yes.
Yeah, that's
true.
Iconic.
And when Shadow takes off his inhibitors, it's like right before the Mephiles fight at the end, that's like one of the rawest cutscenes in Sonic T Hedgehog history.
I've never thought about Sonic T Hedgehog like as an abbreviation of the middle name.
Yeah.
And thank you. I'm never gonna stop thinking about that.
Yeah.
Shadow also shares the same middle name.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's kind of weird they all do. It must be like a thing.
Yeah. It reminds me of like a comic I saw where like it was like, you know, little baby Tails like going into the fridge past midnight, like past his bedtime, and Sonic's like Miles T. Prower the Hedgehog. And so I was like, what did she call me?
It's like, hang on, there's a lot going on in there. We're gonna just unpack this piece by piece. But I don't think any of it was good.
Oh man.
I was just gonna say that this level is like deeply like Sonic 06 apologism. It's like, we're sorry.
Yeah, I know, right?
But it was cool, right? And you're like,
It definitely feels a lot better to play than the Sonic 06 level.
yeah.
That's good. That's good. Again, bad game, but I could never be mad at 06 for bringing me Silver and Blaze for that matter.
Yeah. Well, was Blaze originally in 06 or in Sonic Rush?
Oh, yeah, I thought she was Sonic Rush was her first.
Yeah. I
love
believe
Sonic
so,
Rush.
but
I'm
like
a huge fan of that game.
more Blaze than 06, you know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So you're you're like a Boost Sonic fan, not a Spin Dash Sonic fan.
I think so,
Is the division. That is the division.
I am there. I will say, like, I am not really a speedrunner. I try to be. One day, maybe I will be. But I feel like the game that I have done the most in when it comes to, like, learning tech and, like, playing really avidly is Frontiers. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Frontiers is a very cool run.
No hate to either, but they do feel very different. Like
Yes.
like you can describe almost every game as either a Boost Sonic game or a Spin Dash Sonic game.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like-
that is very true.
Damn, he wasn't doing anything.
No, we're gonna take out another guy like coming up really soon. Same way. Wrong place, wrong time.
Get clowned on.
Oh my god.
Yeah. And again, like, aren't those technically, like, Shadow's cousins? I'm just continuing the family tree at this point. Like,
This is partner in biology, like, in
Yeah.
bio class. It's like, yeah, you were my lab partner. Do you remember, like, the practical that we had to do? Oh my god!
This is the ultimate power.
man. This has been, like, very cleanly done.
I'm
Really nice.
very happy so far with this.
Yeah.
I appreciate your restraint in right after saying this was clean and you're really happy with it, not immediately getting crushed by
I know.
the killer.
I know, right?
That would have been me.
Yeah.
Okay. So this can squish you if you don't freeze it, so. freezing it because I got switched by that earlier. I wasn't paying attention.
No.
Yep.
She is a very Blaze is a very secondary character in 06. She has her own story in Rush and then in Rust Adventure. Admittedly, I didn't play 06, so maybe I'm just like a fake fan because I did not even remember that she was in there at all. Like, to me, like Rush was like the first time we ever met Blaze.
Yeah.
I guess it's the first time I met Blaze.
They I think they made Silver and then they were like, Silver needs a best friend.
Yeah.
And then they made Blaze. But then Blaze is just so cool. Like, actually so cool.
Very cool. I love Blaze.
I'm like, wait, we made a cooler character here.
Yeah.
Hang on.
Which
I guess
is
we gotta keep her.
Yeah. Which is very funny because Silver is just such a goober.
Yeah.
Like, just such a little dweeb. I love him so much.
Mm-hmm.
It's like one of those things where like the IDW comics have been doing a very good job of like not making new characters, but like expanding these characters that have been neglected by the games.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I also really liked Murder of Sonic the Hedgehog as well.
Yes.
Well, because there was so much personification in there, and like, I mean, it was a game focused on dialogue, so
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
I love this level. This
Sunset
is my favorite
Valley.
one.
yeah,
Sunset Heights.
Sunset
Yeah.
Heights, yeah.
Sunset Heights.
I couldn't
don't know why
remember
said-
earlier.
Kingdom
No,
Valley.
yeah.
Sunset Heights. This is Forces. And Forces was a game that came out.
I mean,
And
The Sonic
but the
OC
thing
game.
is, yeah, exactly. Your OC and Sonic are best friends, so
Yeah.
arguably,
yeah.
it's one of the best Sonic games because they said one of your OC was real.
Yeah, that was the part. Like, I remember when Forces came out, and I was like, man, if I was like 12 years old when this came out, like, I would have been over the moon. Like, it literally would have been my dream come true.
Yeah, exactly. It was one
Yeah.
of those games where like you could respect what was going on. So
Yeah.
like, you know what? 11-year-old me would have been utterly feral. I would have been drinking
Yes.
that like Surge soda and gone absolutely haywire on this controller right now.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh my god, Surge mentioned.
Surge mentioned.
Yes.
It's fine. I was just gonna say that Surge was essentially just Four Loko for elementary schoolers.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
just pass on
And-
that comment.
Surge is also a character in the Sonic universe, so it really just is all tying together.
Oh, yeah.
Hadn't thought about that. Oh,
Yeah.
This is a very cool
excuse me,
cutscene.
sir.
So
Excuse me.
cool. Oh, the flip.
Yeah, yeah, He has so much style in this game. It's so good.
You can tell this game was just made like as a love letter.
Yeah.
You know, to this character.
They were like, what if everybody making fun of Shadow for being an edgelord was wrong because he's the coolest ever?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they are wrong.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And it's funny, you know, chat's mentioning Infinite. I think it's very funny that like this is a Shadow Generations level. I know that we're going all over the place, like regardless of whether Shadow is in these games or not, you know, because Shadow doesn't really have like a major presence in Forces, except for the fact that like the whole initial concept of Forces is that he like gave Infinite like a swirly in the bathroom, like when they were in high school or whatever, and Infinite just like could not get over it. That's like my interpretation of the events, honestly.
Into my worldview.
That's in my yeah. Just dunked on Infinite so hard.
Yeah.
And it really just like changed the course of the future forever. Did you miss Radical Highway?
It's back.
I did. I really did.
Oh my god, and Shadow's like one-liners, like they rip so hard.
He gets it.
Yeah. Any other character in this reality, if they said some of the, well, I don't know if every single character, but a lot of them, if they said things like this, I would be like, wow, lame. But Shadow says them, and I'm like, oh, that was so
Very
awesome.
cool. Yeah.
Very cool. Wicked.
I love these sections, by the way, specifically because they remind me of the Sonic 2 special stages.
Yes.
Like,
yeah.
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, the music was just playing in my head through that, like, for a second. Like, oh. This
Oh, what
is
a cool
just,
game.
you're having father-son time.
Yeah.
Actually.
Yeah.
This is the equivalent of going out fishing.
But then he, like, starts, like, restructuring reality, and then suddenly, like, you're not in the lake anymore, and you're in Radical Highway.
I think we've reinvented the show Gravity Falls. I think is what's happening right now.
Wow.
Like, I'm 90% sure that's what we just did.
Yeah.
Ah, this is so sick!
So cool. Love that. You don't actually have to hit Dumai there, either. You can just keep running. Depends if you need to, like, kind of pull yourself forward or not, and how fast you're going.
Which, like, the concept of, like, him being there and Shadow just being like, no.
Yeah, just peace out, bye.
The pacifist route, yeah. I will say, and I'm sure there are going to be people who don't agree with me, but I do like, I mean, I don't think there's a single Sonic game where I'm like, I do not like the soundtrack. But I really like some of the tracks and forces. I like, even if I've probably heard Fist Bump so many times, like the motif of Fist Bump makes me want to, like, you know, like rip my
Flip a
hair out
car?
sometimes. Yeah, but like it's good. Like it plays in my car and I still have fun with it. I really like it.
If Fist Bump doesn't call again to the 12-year-old in you who wants their OC to hang out with Sonic, like that's what that song is.
Yes, exactly. That was like the exact image that was in my brain just now, Jay. Like yeah, I want to like go on adventures with Sonic and give him a nice little high five and go on my way. Like,
yeah, like that's exact. They knew what they were doing.
Yeah.
While it's a little sad to, you know, see other people living our dream,
Right.
I can respect it.
Oh man, and then also like we were talking about this the other day too, like the silly little OCs that came out of
Yes.
Yeah. I
shout outs to Ian Jr.
Yeah, I have like a friend who made like an entire like character out of it too. That's just like that's the most memorable part of it for me as well. Like I didn't play through Forces, but I enjoyed watching it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we're all forgetting the hardest line that Knuckles the Echidna ever says of none of this is good, Tails. That's why it's called war.
God.
Like, excuse you.
Yeah.
Tails is a baby. Like,
it's like, leave him alone. He's just learning that war is bad. Leave him alone.
yeah, they really went like, I'm not gonna say edgy because like if we want to talk about edgy Sonic games, there is only one answer and it's Shadow the Hedgehog. But like they did kind of try to go into like a gritty like post-apocalypse like with the lore. It didn't work. But they did it. They sure did it.
There was an attempt made.
Yeah.
You're telling me that you don't consider the plot of Sonic and the Black Knight to be gritty reality? Like,
the storybook era.
yes.
I finally just played Sonic and the Black Knight recently, and like the opening cutscene with him in the hot dogs, I'm just like, is this serious? Like, what is going on here?
That is one of the best cutscenes they've ever made, though.
Yeah.
That he throws the chili dog in the air, obliterates everybody, and catches it. It's so rad.
So funny.
Oh man, the designs for like the knights and that were pretty cool though. Like the concept art and everything.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There are things to love about that game.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. All right, speaking of games that Shadow's not in, we do have a boss fight first. This is going back to Heroes. So the other thing too is that Kingdom Valley and Sunset Heights are kind of like concurrent with each other in terms of like story order, if that makes sense. So you can do either one. We're going back to Sonic Heroes, and it's gonna take everything within me not to sing.
Oh, this song is so good.
What I'm made of. Oh my god, it's so good. Also, this banter is
It's so funny. Yeah, like basically all the boss fights are like, I'm the ultimate life form, and Shadow's like, what are you talking about?
I said that. Like, that's not, like, I came up with that. Like,
It's my burden to bear.
yeah,
You
that's
don't
my
get to
brand.
keep it.
Yeah. I copyrighted that. Like,
Yeah. But we have to square up with them because doing copyright infringement legal battles is way more boring. And Shadow is too cool for that.
and he's got some cool kicks.
Yeah.
So I'd rather just settle things that way. So we got a couple phases. We are on our beloved Stingray. This is teaching us about how we can use like the bumpers to strafe, and that allows us to like parry these obstacles back at Metal Overlord. And we're also using Chaos Control to get close to him and kick him in the chest.
There we go.
Oh my god, we're
Cool.
there. I was gonna say, I was like, come
I was
on.
so scared. You have to hit him with
phase
enough
2.
damage, yeah, to get into the next phase, or else you end up in like this scene where you can't really do any damage against him, so it's not ideal.
Like dodging like tail swings or whatever.
Yeah. Go. Now we're gonna play Pong.
Stop me.
Oh, I love this.
There we go. I think it's so funny.
What are your
That's
thoughts
like
on
the
that, Jay?
Phantom.
Yeah.
That's like the Phantom Ganon, like Ocarina of Time situation, isn't it?
I think so. Those red missiles we cannot parry back, so we're gonna avoid those.
Incredible.
Just gonna chip away at his health. We're showing Metal Overlord what we're made of, etc., etc.
Okay. We're gonna do a lock on, release.
Then we're gonna kick all this debris at him.
There it goes.
He's so cool. And his stingray.
Yeah, we get some cool airtime here.
Among Us mentioned.
Radical.
I needed the subtitle for Shadow saying "ha" there. I don't. I'm not 100% that one was that necessary, but you know what? I take that back. Every word that he says is gospel.
Alright, now speaking of games that Shadow is not in.
Yeah, it's too bad he wasn't in
welcome
it.
to welcome to Chaos Island. And I think it goes back to that thing where if Shadow was here, it would probably solve a lot of problems. So it's very inconvenient for him to be in the Frontiers story.
Yeah.
We're also a squid now.
Or squid, for story reasons.
Yeah, for story reasons. Jaypeg, did
Yeah.
you know that Shadow can be a squid sometimes?
You know, I think playing Splatoon comes for us all eventually, so
Very true.
you gotta do
what
it
happened?
eventually.
Ooh, I missed. I like slammed into it and it didn't react to me hitting it. It's okay.
I just want to quickly mention, since we're kind of like tracking anyways, this like remix section here is like reminiscent of Era of Time, which is like one of my favorite like level stage songs in Frontiers. I'm a big fan of Frontiers. I really like that game, and it also like released at a really good time in my life, I think, to like dive into it.
Yeah, I feel like Frontiers in a lot of ways, like when it got announced and people were like, what on earth are we looking at? And
Yeah.
then like everybody played it and was like, hang on, this actually like rules.
Right, yeah, and then people were like, oh, a Breath of the Wild ripoff or whatever, but like, it's fun. Like, I
Yeah.
really love like traveling through the overworld and getting like sidetracked by all the different like obstacles. I'm like trying to head in a direction and then I just see some balloons and then I just kind of go off and then I'm like, all right, where am I going? And I look at the map and I'm like on the complete other side of the level and I'm like, oh, okay. I went a little silly with it.
Oh no. Whoops.
All right.
All right, Shadow, come on.
Shadow, come on.
Yeah.
Oh my.
Shadow!
Shadow!
This squid is
All right.
bizarre.
Not
controlling wise.
There we
It
go.
looks bizarre.
Yeah. So to activate this mode, you actually have to target these little like bluish orbs, like right here. And that's what allows him to transform into this form.
Yeah.
If you don't do that, you're just gonna be like really slow and miserable in a puddle of goo.
And once you activate one of those, it disappears, which makes it
Yeah.
more difficult.
And it's funny, two things I wanted to say about Frontiers. One of them was like that this was supposed to be kind of like a reboot of everything that Forces did. They like made the whole Forces story and they were like, no, let's backtrack on that. And then they kind of revitalized the story with Frontiers. Kind of curious on like where they're gonna pick up on that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the other thing is that Frontiers is the highest selling 3D Sonic game of all time.
Oh,
Yeah.
It's fun.
that's
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I did not know that. That's really
Yeah.
surprising.
Yeah.
I would have picked one of the Sonic Adventure games, even like accounting for, you know, like popularity and time and stuff like that, because like those are so formative that
Yeah.
like. But I don't know. But I'm happy to hear that though, because Frontiers was beautiful and kind
Yeah.
of like a revitalization of a lot of people's love, because it really was getting to the point where every new Sonic game that came out, people were like, well, I expect it to be bad.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
yes.
Frontiers was like, no, it's okay, we can still do it. And then we've got some real bangers. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
did the
And
squid
those
not
boss
like
fight
lava?
tracks. Yeah.
Yeah, the squid, I've been having some trouble with that recently, but it's okay. Got this.
We're getting through it. A little
Yeah,
bit of a
usually
slower route, but-
like the top routes are faster, but they're perfectly manageable if you take the bottom route. It's just a little bit slower. But it's nice that there's so many different backups.
Yes. Yeah. And also, like, still being in the phase of, like, figuring out what really is, like, the fastest.
Yeah.
But yeah, Frontiers, only became, like, the top-selling 3D game, like, semi-recently. Like, it was not, like, you know, massive amount of sales when the game first came out. I think it was, like, maybe early last year, or, like, summer of last year that it achieved that title, but it's very cool to hear. And then it's kind of, I don't know, Sonic fans have just been kind of winning the past couple years, because Frontiers is good. We got the Sonic movies.
Yeah. Which I'm
Sonic
excited
Prime
about.
came out. I liked Sonic Prime. I know some people had, like, their gripes about the story, but I had a good time, and it was also, like, the first time that Shadows had, like, a, I wouldn't say, like, main character, because he was just there, but he was there more than he's ever been in a while.
Yeah, definitely. They really
Yeah.
like he was
there.
yeah.
He's participating too.
Yeah.
He got kind of a unique role in that show as well. Like he didn't get trapped
Yes.
in like everyone else, so he was actually like an actual character, which was nice.
Yeah. Even though they kind of had to, like, put him in timeout because he is just too strong.
Yeah. Again.
Yeah. That's like the Shadow dilemma, TM, is that he's either too strong and he solves every problem, so we can't have him there. We have to find some way to put him in prison so that he can't just completely erase all conflict, or they don't know how to acknowledge the whole Maria thing. Awkward. So then they, you know, just don't have him and stuff, because then they have to talk about guns and child dying.
Yeah.
And I think they were kind of afraid to like approach that for a while.
They might have oversteered a little bit.
Yeah, they might have made him a little too edgy. They like gave him a gun and everything, and then they were like, whoa.
We got a little out of hand. Yeah. My favorite part of that game, though, of like specifically Shadow the Hedgehog, though, is when the president's like, "We need their help," and then the camera pans over to a framed photograph of Sonic and Shadow on his desk.
I love that so much.
Oh, it's the best. It's like, why does the president have a photo of Sonic and Shadow?
I legit want to print that photo out and like put it in my office.
I do know an artist that sells like an acrylic standee of that.
Oh my god.
It's very cool.
Oh my god, you're gonna need to send that to me later.
Yeah.
Because I need that. It's my favorite part. It opens up the wildest can of worms.
Yeah.
To like part that. Like your own child, not a photo of your own kid. No.
And restore my
You did it!
I did it. I got him. I would like some rings though.
Got one little kick in the head. Mephiles.
That's the character from the Cats musical, right? Sorry.
the ultimate game of Shadow Tag.
Oh, cute pun.
There we go. Throw him into the pillar. Ouch.
Mephiles. He is cool. I don't know what to say about him. I feel like he is a character that like is so tied into the Sonic 06 story. Like I don't really see any feasible way of like seeing him again except for these like, you know, flash to the past segments like this.
Yeah.
But it would be cool to like understand him a little more, or maybe like put him in a setting where the writing isn't garbage.
Yeah.
He looks a little too much like the I'm sorry if this is a deep cut, but I'm sure somebody the not Sonic character that's meant to basically be Sonic from the game Illbleed.
Oh, you are 100% right. Yes.
Like he looks so much like him.
That's so funny. Actually, I've never noticed that before.
I'm so sorry for the association. Whoa,
So
thoughts
good.
of Illbleed be upon ye.
Yeah.
So you see that we have phases here. Mephiles is already almost dead, but basically we're squidding it out. So we have those pillars that we do have to like get vertical height to be able to reach Mephiles. You have these copy sections where you're like erasing all the copies and then kicking Mephiles in the head. I'm like,
love it.
So cool. That line delivery there is really good. Yeah, actually. Oh, he's so cool. Shut up. He's so cool. And then we put him back in his little vial.
Dramatic
Damn.
cut. Yep.
Yeah, mic drop. So good.
I just love that he says that and then like skates around and does some sick flips. Like imagine if somebody was like, your life is over, you'll never be free again. And then they skated off in their soaps and did a sick backflip. Like you'd just be obliterated. Like
Oh man. That is so funny. Alright, here's Crime's favorite level, Radical Highway.
Yeah. You like Radical Highway?
Do you like Radical Highway? Did you miss Radical Highway? Because we're back.
Amigo Lane.
Amigo Lane.
Is that what that said? Because I'm pretty sure that's what that said.
Yeah.
Yeah, Amigo, left
Amigo.
lane.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
We're trying really hard to make Radical Highway in San Francisco. We're trying really hard.
Is this not what San Francisco looks like? I've never been.
You know, it's been a while for me, so I can't confirm or deny either. There may be parts of the city floating in suspension at all times.
Yeah.
They ran out of space, so they just went up.
Wow. It's so funny that like these weird, you know, as I've just been referring to as like Black Doom's Mind Palace versions of Radical Highway, like they kind of remind me of like Crisis City with the way the buildings are all like twisted and destroyed and stuff. Getting more of those Chaos Sphere glides in there. You can do some really interesting stuff with the Chaos glides too. Like if you just juggle your boosts and your jumps and your Chaos Spheres in like such a perfect way, you can actually cover so much distance.
Yeah, it's huge.
Yeah. So that has been like a really interesting like research project of like seeing like what you can do to reach areas that you're not supposed to reach and like skip entire sections.
And that's also an exciting thing about running this game, like as it's new. Because people are just like finding just this really cool stuff all the time.
Yeah, and I also like, I mean, it's a Sonic game, so like of course, but like finding a movement thing like this like so early on.
Yeah.
Is really, in a way, I know it's not like exactly the same, but like it reminds me a little bit of when Super Mario Odyssey came out and there was all like the trick jumping discussion of like, what can we make it across now? What gap can we make it across now? What can we chain and do this? And when you have the opportunities for the big movement and these gaps, like these enormous gaps in levels, like you have some really cool opportunities.
I definitely agree. Like it definitely has that same feel. And just like this, ooh, oh my gosh, that was so good.
Mario could literally never say any of the lines that Shadow the Hedgehog says, but Shadow the Hedgehog could say everything that Mario has ever said. So who's the better character here, okay?
Me like trying to remember anything that Mario has ever said ever. And
You can't tell me that you don't want to hear Shadow the Hedgehog utter the phrase "so long, gay Bowser," okay?
That was my first thought, and then my second thought was just hearing Shadow go Yahoo! And I was like, I don't think he would say that.
He would, but only in like the disinterested, like sarcastic way. Like you tell him something that he doesn't want to hear, and he's just like Yahoo!
Like, oh yeah, true.
I love that.
True.
So I didn't manage my boost well enough, and so we're scrambling here to not die, but it's okay, it's fine.
We got it.
Fine, we're fine, everything's fine.
Yeah, he just has a nice leisurely stroll back to the ring over here.
Yeah. Shadow has very, like, I'm rubber, you're glue energy.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah. Takes one to know one.
We have a Bay Arean in chat saying that yes, the Bay Area does in fact look like Radical Highway.
Yeah, like just like this.
Yeah.
The purple's beautiful. I like what you've done with the place.
Yeah, really gorgeous work.
I am. Ooh, are you gonna go for it, Crime?
I think I'm gonna go for it. I'm gonna try it.
Okay.
Let's do it.
We're going for a very spicy skip here.
Oh no, we're not gonna get it because we hit the.
Oh,
okay, no, can't do it.
That's all right.
It's okay.
Now y'all just got a teaser about it, okay? So y'all have to tune in later for when she runs this.
Yes.
You will see it, I assure you.
Yeah, it's a really fun skip.
But it is very tricky when it comes to like again boost management.
Yeah, boost
you
management.
need just enough boost to get to where you need to be, but like you have many places that you need to be, so you have to like conserve it.
There we
also
go.
have these like fun little super awesome water tornadoes.
Yes, fun.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean that entirely sarcastically.
Yeah, they kind of like shoot you, just your body goes limp if you touch them, and then you're just kind of falling out of nowhere. Yeah.
You also have these platforms that are on cycles. I feel like that's probably the worst part about this level. I feel like.
These rotating platforms are a hassle sometimes.
Yeah.
Like this one.
Okay.
No. Ooh,
What happened?
I don't know what happened there, actually.
Shadow, you were there.
Too fast.
Shadow, you were there. Like, grow up, actually.
Grow up. Not
Okay.
like God, get it together. Like
Yeah.
Shadow, you're being really immature right now.
Actually, just having a temper control.
Oh my God.
So this guy get angry.
I'm gonna start telling the main characters of the games that I speedrun to grow up.
Oh, I do all the time.
Oh,
yeah.
Go to go to therapy. It's like arguably like such a funnier thing to say.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow, I'm so glad we have all this Radical Highway content.
It's pretty radical. It's pretty rad.
I'm just gonna wait here instead of jumping forward.
Yeah.
So you're telling me this,
wow.
this highway's been radicalized?
Crime, that was so good. That
I
was
know,
such a good
I am
recovery.
shocked.
Wow. Oh my God.
That also was scary.
Yeah. Oh.
Okay. We're almost out of Radical Highway for now.
Yeah.
For now, sorry. We're never free.
Yeah, never truly
No.
out.
As long as the Doomai is your dad, then
Yeah.
you'll be back here. It's kind of like a childhood home, I guess.
Yeah, Shadow's like sick of it because like he takes him here for his birthday like every year.
It's like, Dad, I have not liked the buttered noodles here since I was like 9. Stop looking at me weird when I order the vodka pasta. The alcohol's cooked out of it.
Okay, final area here.
Yeah.
Double Doom?
We're confronting our dad.
Yeah.
We are sick of these radical shenanigans that we've been putting up with for the past like 50 minutes. So in this fight, not right now because you're with your good friend Squid, this is the only part where you do have to use Doomwing. The way Doomwing works is kind of like how Supersonic does, where you, with the amount of rings you have, they like slowly deplete over time, and you don't necessarily like take damage like in the sense that you do in like standard, you know, forms of Shadow/Sonic. So you will see this pretty soon. We're with our good pal Stingray in the meantime though.
Yeah. Just throwing stuff at him, similar to the Metal Overlord fight.
Yeah, very similar. It's almost like we're combining everything that we've learned on our journey to confront our ultimate father.
Oh my God, do you think a game would do that? Like, combine... Like, that's wild. I've never heard of a game doing this. I'm a little mad at Shadow for getting to live my dream of having a mount that is just a stingray. Like, that's...
It's so cool.
So this is like an incredibly difficult segment. So I'm sure Crime is gonna lock in pretty soon. So you have to navigate with your squid form through these platforms. You're gonna have to do this a few times, and it's gonna get progressively longer. And now that you see with Devil Doom's laser, these platforms are getting destroyed over time. So sometimes, like, you go to approach a platform and then it's just kind of like a mad dash scramble to get to just anything that you can, like, land on or interact with so you're not, like, falling. So this will be the final time that we're doing this, and look at how long this segment is. There's a lot going on here. So we got some little squid alley-ooping, and then we're swimming across these platforms as well. It seems like the platforms I don't want to say are like generous, but I feel like you can definitely interact with them for longer than I would expect.
Yeah.
At least. All right. We've made it back to our dad. Kick him in the face a little bit. I love the kicking sound effect.
Yeah, I really like the animation too, like the action animation.
Yeah.
And we have wings. Time to hail Shadow.
And now, yeah, all hail Shadow. We're in the second and final form of our dad. Our dad at his fullest potential, Neo Devil Doom. So as you can see, the way that your rings are depleting. This fight does like, and some of these, a lot of the boss fights do, where when, like very similar to Frontiers, where like when you get hit by something, you kind of get like locked into a whole interaction of a cutscene. So getting hit, you know, first of all, isn't ideal because you want to be the one getting hits, but also it adds a lot of time because it'll like put you in an animation and then also knock you back, and then you have to traverse back to the boss. So we're gonna try to avoid, oh my god, we're trying to avoid all of these barriers and trying to get to Neo Devil Doom so that we can kick him in the head a few more times. He's got a long neck now.
He got me. Yeah.
Yeah. So this is what I'm talking about. Not ideal.
But he doesn't take damage. Luckily, you don't take damage for that. It's just,
right.
you know, a cutscene here that you weren't expecting.
Yeah. I love the sound effects of the kicks. It sounds like he's like slapping him. Please.
Rude of him to do this.
Yeah. It's such a weird...
Honestly, I wonder if that's a time... I'm not gonna think about it right now.
Yeah. Yeah, that one wasn't too... Like, that wasn't
one actually
slow.
might have been a
and
time
you're so
save.
close now.
Yeah.
All right.
Your future is already
We've been chaos controlled, except we're
better
built
at it.
different. Yeah, we're better.
And time is coming up. We're gonna do a big mash sequence at the end of the mash. I will call it. All hail Shadow.
All
Let's go Shadow. All hail Shadow.
Bow your head
And time. That's a PB for me, actually.
Yay!
I will not be stopped.
Oh my gosh.
So cool.
GG's.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Oh, that was so fun. I'm so happy I got to show that off. There is an entire cutscene here for the end of the game, which concludes in my favorite animation. But I just want to say a few things. Thank you so much both for being on here, and, you know, willing to, like, be on comms for an entirely new game that...
Oh my god.
You know, like, tech still being worked out and everything. Like, this was so cool having you all, like, Lazlo, all of the, like, facts about the Sonic universe in general, just, like, perfect. It's really great to be able to, like, review that stuff, like, especially with this game being so, like, tied to all the other games. And, yeah, no, it was super cool. But, yeah, Shadow's just taking out Doom here.
Crafted everything up till now. And yet,
Incredible.
you deny me.
This is when your dad makes you a dinner that he worked hard on, but forgets that you have like a food allergy, so like you're just straight up not gonna eat it. It's like, I crafted everything and you deny me.
Adding that to my vernacular from now on.
I love that explosion. It's so good.
Oh, so good. It reminds me of like retro anime or something.
Yeah. But that's Shadow Generations. Like, this game is so cool. I definitely recommend checking it out, even like casually. It feels really good, and I'm not like generally a 3D Sonic player, but like I have really enjoyed this game. It feels so good. But yeah, I've been Metroid Crime. You can find me at twitch.tv/Metroid Crime. I speedrun a whole bunch of different games. Come learn this game. It's really cool. We have a great community. They're actually just about to set up a leaderboard for this category specifically, so if you don't want to run any percent, you can check out this one. You can do it with Doomwing, without, whichever you'd like. But yeah, definitely. Lazlo, where can we find you?
I don't do anything, but if I theoretically were to be doing anything, it would be at Lazlotus, across like multiple social media platforms. I also want to say thank you, Crime, for messaging me and having me be a part of this, like as the Lady Arcader's #1 Shadow fan, but also I'm so sorry, the shout out that says they last played no game is really iconic. Anyways, it's been really fun to like discuss this game like as a love letter to the Sonic series, and also like it's been so cool to learn about the tech like with you and like watch you do all these runs this week. And I also want to say thank you to Jaypeg because you were so much fun to have along on this adventure as well.
I know, yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Are you kidding? I wouldn't have missed this for the world, and y'all know why. So, okay, thank you so much for this incredible showcase, this incredible game. Phenomenal job, both of you. This was just like a 10 out of 10. I know that chat thinks so too. This is just an all-timer. You both did amazing. So thank you for having me along for the ride, but so that we can all catch our breaths both from the laughter and the sprinting at 1,000,000 miles an hour, and that Crime can give her hands a break, we're gonna go to a quick intermission screen, y'all, but do not go too far. We have some announcements for you, so stick around for just a minute. We will be right back. Wow. Just wow. That was absolutely incredible. I do not have the words for how fun that was. Like, just incredible running, incredible commentary, incredible laughter and vibes. Like, that was an all-timer and so much fun. And thanks y'all so much for being here and chatting and giving us information and teaching us along the way. I hope you had fun, because I know I did. But, hey, remember, if you watch this and you had fun and you want to show off something coming up, guess what? Remember, submissions for our track mode showcases are always open. We would really love to have you showing off any game that you love. And this does not have to be a speedrun. It can be a challenge showcase. It can be like a score attack, something like that as well. Send us your showcase ideas at ladyarcaders.com/start. And we're currently scheduling for the month of December right now. So if you have like a holiday game that like maybe you have a tradition that you play it once a year or something like that, like let us know. Send in your showcase idea. We want to see it. And speaking of the holiday spirit, so if you're part of the private Lady Arcader server, we want to hear about your favorite free games to build out our advent calendar this year. So we'll be curating these submissions to release one new free game every day of December. So find a link, submit your favorite free game in the news channel on the private Discord if you have something awesome to share with us. If you had a phenomenal time, and I know I did, and I know that you did, and you want to come back, next time on Track Mode, Pakal will be showing off Assassin's Creed Syndicate EV solo missions any percent and Assassin's Creed 3 Remastered Hate Them any percent back to back. So that is our next one that's going to be coming up. So y'all, you're not going to want to miss that. If there's any Assassin's Creed fans in chat, I know that you're going to want to see it. It's going to be just as wonderful as this one was, and you're going to have a phenomenal time. We are going to be raiding in to the wonderful Arborelia, and we're going to be seeing some more of hopefully Shadow, but definitely some Sonic the Hedgehog action going on in there. So do not go too far. My name is Jaypeg. I've had a phenomenal time with each of you, and I hope you have a wonderful night. So thanks everybody for watching. Stick around for that raid, and have a good night.
Ce serait bien crack. Ouais, c'est le jeu. Alors c'est parti pour Lotus Challenge 2003.